Welcome back to the Sport Wrap Saturday studio, making sure that you never get lost in the source for the sports news that you need. We're talking local, we're talking international. So that's in your home, whether you're taking flights, whatever it is, you're at the right place with Ashwin Betty and Diana Master. How are you, Diana?
I'm doing great.
Yes.
It's been a fantastic day.
It has been a fantastic day, and we've got so much more to come through on the show. Of course, as you know, Sport Wrap is a program that goes on throughout the week. And we understand sometimes you might miss one or two things, but some of our favorite moments we also make sure we cover in the Sport Wrap studio. Now, Diana, your sport is volleyball.
Yes, of course. Used to be. I think it still is.
I was about to ask if you're willing to join the league.
I am actually. I'm considering going back to.
So let's keep
play.
that in mind, because
Yes.
Brian Munango had a conversation with Eden Tobias about some exciting things coming from NVF.
It's indeed a beautiful Friday when we are joined by Eden Tobias, the Vice President of the Namibia Volleyball Federation. Well, he's here to just enlighten us more about the first ever edition of the MTC Namibia Volleyball Federation Nationals League, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you got it right.
Okay, Tobias, just tell us how you're feeling today and how you're doing. It's a wonderful Friday. Yeah, tell us how you're doing.
Yeah, every time I come here, I'm always excited because I see people are watching and we are giving information.
Yeah.
So definitely I'm hoping that many are listening and will get to know what's going on.
Okay, well, it is definitely exciting times for volleyball in Namibia, so to say. So just tell us, how excited are you for this upcoming first edition of the MTC volleyball tournament?
Yeah, it has been so many years and finally we are actually having a product of its kind, phase of its kind. Some of us never got a chance to play at such a platform.
Yeah.
So we are now going to host a Premier League, one when we call it MTC VNL. VNL is a short form for Volleyball National League.
Okay.
And it's national.
It's national.
What else could I say? Yeah.
Well, I saw a bit of how the setup is going to look like, how you guys are going to be hosting the games in different regions. Can you just tell us more about that?
Yeah, so this league is actually two genders, both males and females. So we're actually having, when you talk about national, we want to consider all the 14 regions. So we have teams, in volleyball world, we have 14 geographical regions, but we have 8 associations. So what we did from all the champions that from the associations are now seeded, promoted to the national league, because obviously you cannot come if you're not a champion, because it's a national platform, whereby now we're currently kicking off with 8 teams, 8 females and 8 males. So it's going to be like each region is represented. So it's actually Zambezi versus Kavango versus Khomas versus Erongo regions, southern regions. And now you don't want all the games just to be in Windhoek, not because Windhoek has better infrastructure or to say in Swakop. So we are now going to have rotations of each and every town. So definitely we see a lot coming up.
I think just the sound of that has me sold already, because it really sounds exciting for volleyball. How good do you think this is for the level of competition that we have in volleyball? How is this going to help the sport of volleyball in Namibia just to grow?
Right now, because when you go to now, even the sport commissions is now categorizing volleyball as a national sport code. So obviously, this is actually adding more advantage. Now we have national players of where we can actually do talent identifications, and then now each and every players on regional levels, or probably from development. Now there's something to dream up to say, oh guys, I need to play in national league one day. So now regions are playing hard so that they can qualify, because obviously now we are going to have relegations and qualifications, and teams that are now promoted to national levels, they'll definitely, once I get in here, I don't want to go back to first division again.
They don't want to maintain it again.
Yeah. So literally, you have all that, and then what the good part of that, you have teams coming from Katima, teams coming from Rundu, the southern region, Marienthal and Kettmans. We have Walvis Bay, one team in Swakop. So almost each and every town is represented. So we expect to have a mileage of people coming, and everyone is like, okay, my home team. I always like giving a good example of Chula Chula. The fans are always following the teams that they are going on. So we see the same thing happening in here.
Yeah, and volleyball is not really a sport that I have been watching or watched before, but when I started watching it, I realized it's a beautiful sport. So looking at the first day of the event that will be taking place in Windhoek, just run us through it. How is that going to happen, and how are the games going to be played? Yeah,
so literally what we are going to be always doing, we have almost a concept as Netball Namibia doing, whereby our games will be played only on Saturdays and Sundays. Saturday is a whole day, And obviously we won't be starting early morning because, you know, with sports, the muscles like around 7 they're always like frozen.
Stiff,
you want to start around 9 there. So every day our games will be kicking off at 9 on a Saturday. to 7 in the evening. And then on a Sunday, because you also want people to go rest or to travel back, we only always have morning hours games, and then from afternoon, teams can always go back. We are going to have a launch, obviously, because when you kick off something, you need to first tell people, introduce them. What is this? Volleyball is it's a beautiful sport. It's an addiction, a good addiction for that matter. So what we want to do, we just want to give a bit of background, history, how we have to do up, and then we also need to tell public of what partnership we have with MTC, what we are heading to, and we also want to see what other opportunities we have available. So on the 11th of May, that's now where the launch will be at the
Please
showgrounds.
save the date.
Yeah,
11th
definitely.
of May
11th
at the
of May,
showgrounds.
it's a big day. You don't want to arrange anything for that day. If it's gone, it's gone. You know.
So you must be there, guys. 11th of May at the showgrounds. Definitely make sure to be there or not. And
definitely, we kick off with a mini launch whereby we do have speeches from our various stakeholders. We have so much coming up. You don't want to miss. Your idols must also be there. We have influencers, artists, also some entertainment, because there's nothing without fun. You know, sports is entertainment. So that's what we do. And then now we also have some lined up fixtures for the day. Around 11, the fixtures will kick off, and it's top teams. So there's nothing to say, this game is boring. Each and every game will be just like it's nail biting. You want to see what's going on here. So we expect to have a whole day of expectations. Obviously, we also want to see, we don't want to play games and then it's only players watching players. We play sports for spectators, you know. So we want the community to come out and say, oh, wow. You come with your whole family, your whole kids, and you never know. We want to develop future Olympians. And if you are now a parent and you come with your small kids and they start watching volleyball, they will learn how to play from a young age. And then imagine what happens when they become 13, 14 years old.
Then the sport can definitely
it will grow.
So, okay, looking at the fact that this is our first event, the first ever National Volleyball League that we're going to have, looking at the teams that were selected, how tough do you think the competition is going to be from all the regions, since it's basically like choosing champions to take on champions from different regions? How do you think the competition is going to be?
Yes, you know, it was an excitement when you came up with a national league. So each team was now looking, okay, I need to win this. It's a bigger stage. Everyone wants to have the first. You know, the team won the National League for the first time on the inception year. So that's the biggest challenge on the teams. And we do not have things like weak teams, because all of them, they are champions. It means that they are stronger because they have beaten all other teams in the regions. And they are all capable. They have good coaches. NVF has been doing a capacity of training coaches, referees, players on improving the games throughout. And then, you know, just like transfer markets. Players went back in the market and dig deeper to say, let's get this one and this one. Now we are going up. So we have also seen that teams have recruited, have strengthened their force, and it's actually going to be a volleyball that we have never ever seen before, because they were just playing in regionals without any greater motivation. But now here, it's well branded MTC. They know that there's support, there's funds, it's moving out, it's a national league, and they also know that during those games, you're also selecting now the national team players that will be called for that. So everyone wants to perform well for your club to win, as well as individually to be selected. Hence, all I know, not miss it.
No. I definitely hear excitement, Tobias, because looking at it, you've really just convinced me that this is big for volleyball in Namibia. This competition is going to be great to watch. So you guys should come watch the games, because the competition, like he said, is going to be top tier, and we are going to be getting the best volleyball that we can watch, and that's very, very big for us. Anything you'd like to leave with the viewers before we do close off, to just let them know?
I always like quoting Nelson Mandela. You know, he always says sports has power to change the world. It can inspire. It speaks in different languages. That's my favorite part. Like anyone, even young kids, if they're watching sports, they understand everything you're doing. So I think, and I want to see each and every person being part of sports. We don't want to be selfish to say, no, come and watch volleyball. But all I know, on a weekend, you always have many various sports. If we can take everyone from the houses, you go to netball, you go to soccer, you go to volleyball, rugby, cricket, anything. Or you can play mini sports in your own house. Let's try to make sport as a culture every time, because that's the only way we can actually do. If you have seen when our two ladies, Masirinki and Mpoma, were doing so well, everyone was so excited. I remember at work we were paused and at halt. Instead of doing our job, we are watching them running. We know what time they are running exactly. So it's because sports can actually bring that. So let's do it through volleyball and everyone else.
Well, guys, like you heard from Eden Tobias, who is the vice president of the Namibian Volleyball Federation, I don't think you guys want to miss the volleyball launch on the 11th of May at the showground. So do make sure to be there. And like he said, sport does unite all of us. So yeah, from me and him, we'll be seeing you guys again soon. But yeah, thank you for your time.
All the times.
Now sticking with volleyball, but taking it to the beach, as Nicki Minaj said.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's go to the beach.
Would rather be at the beach today.
In this heat.
But imagine sports studio Saturday at the beach.
At the beach,
like,
yes.
Yes, the MMO might complain about sound.
Yeah.
But the vibes.
The vibes are there. No, the vibes are definitely aligned. All right, now Bank Windhoek and VF Beach Volleyball Director Conrad Johannes shares excitement over the beach volleyball tournament, which took place today at the Swakopmund Mall Beach. Volleyball player Steven Kanganjera takes us through his experience as well. Have a look.
Good day, I'm Conrad Johannes, Namibian Beach Volleyball Director. Today we're here in beautiful Swakopmund for the Bank Windhoek Swakopmund Open. This is an annual event. Bank Windhoek has been on board for the last quite a while, 15 years I think. Thank you very much guys. This is the premier open tournament in the year. We've got around 20 teams participating in the top division and a few more social teams. Tomorrow morning we'll also have a little youth cup here. Today there's a youth indoor tournament at the Dome, and tomorrow morning we hopefully have those teams come and play Forsyth Beach as well. And yeah, this is part of a 4-series national tour for the year. So there'll be 3 more events, 2 in Windhoek and 2 in Swakop. We're trying to get volleyball going all over the country. There's about 60 indoor clubs, and we want them all to start playing beach as well. Hopefully we've got Rundu up and running. We've got 2 teams from up there that are also here, and we need to get some in Katima. If you want to start a beach volleyball club there, contact me or the National Federation, and yeah, we grow the game, and our top teams hopefully 2028 we're at the Olympics. That's the dream. Right.
Okay, just touch a little bit on what's happening today and which teams are here today, those that you know of off your top of your head.
We've got in the men's roster, we've got some good teams here. Unfortunately, the top 2 ranked teams aren't available this weekend for personal reasons, but we've got a really strong local team from Rundu. That's Stevie Kanga and John Tishe. They play NCS up there. And then locally we've got the beach director from Windhoek and his partner Thomas Chilumbo, and he's playing with forgot the name now, Mark Heingrube. Okay, and then we've got some other exciting teams. We've got Zimbabwean representation here, Panache Chikuta and Mahachi, but they're locally based, so yeah, but those are probably the top 3 favorite teams for me. On the women's side, we've got the very experienced Rosie Hennes, who's represented Namibia numerous times. She's playing with the up-and-coming talent called Lamish Harris. That's probably the favorites to win the women's tournament, but just because you're favorites doesn't mean you win, right? Yeah.
Hi guys, it's Steven Kanganjera. I'm in Swakop for the Bank Windhoek Beach Volleyball Games. I'm playing for NCS right now, but we are partnering up with John Tuefe. Yeah, we're in Swakop. It's a good vibe, good energy. Yeah, come and support us.
Okay, so how many games have you played so far, and how did those games go?
We just played 1 game so far. We won our game. We have our 2nd game coming up just now. And yeah, looking forward to the whole day.
Okay, so is beach volleyball something that you regularly do, or is this a once-off experience?
It's a regular thing. I play more indoor, but we're looking forward to getting NCS team to play more beach volleyball.
So is there like a big difference between indoor and beach volleyball?
Not a huge difference, but yeah, there's a few things that are a little bit tough, because now it's 2 of you covering a court size of 8 by 8. Where indoor is 9 by 9. So yeah, it's just the number of people on court. That's the difference.
Okay, thank you, Steven. Any final remarks?
come support volleyball. Yeah, it's very fun. Volleyball is a lifestyle.
All right.
Wonderful report there by Precious Nyitao Nabo, our team player at the Coast, making sure you don't miss anything. You don't miss
We've
anything.
got you covered. Like we said, Sport Rap Saturday is your favorite show because everything
Nothing.
locally,
We
internationally.
don't miss anything.
We don't miss.
Now, if you're talking cycling in Namibia,
Yes.
first name that comes to your mind?
Verulusa.
Ferudusa. It has to be. She's an incredible cyclist. And the last race she did in February was the Momentum Medical Scheme Tankwa Trek, which is one of South Africa's premium mountain bike stage races. And she came in third in the women's elite category. But we want to get to know her more, and I'm sure you do too. So Brian Munango earlier in the week had Ferudusa on Athletes World.
Okay, well, this is episode 2 of Athletes World, and you guys are probably wondering, who are we having at IJG Trails? And we have none other than Ferudusa. Farah, how are you doing today?
I'm great, thank you.
Okay, before we do get into this conversation, just so you guys know, Farah won the Namibian Sports Commission Awards Sportswoman of the Year. Okay, Farah, let's just run through that. How was last year for you? Sports-wise, winning the Sportswoman of the Year award. Yeah, what did it take for you last year?
Yeah, I mean, to win the Sportswoman of the Year, you have to have a whole year of good performances, which I really did have.
Yeah.
I had a phenomenal year last year. I started with winning the national champs in January on the road bike, then going to South Africa, winning the Cape Epic, which is also known as the biggest mountain bike race in the world, comparable to the Tour de France on the road. And then from there I went to Europe. I raced there quite a few races. I won the Swiss Epic, which is the European Cape Epic. And then I won my first World Cup in France in September. So yeah, it was a really good year. And then in October I broke my hand. So I had a little bit of a break there, which was maybe good because now I can go in full swing into this year again.
Wow. Just a few of the achievements. I mean, Switzerland Epic, how was that? We watched that on TV and we were cheering for you the whole way because we had to cover it all the way from here. And we saw you guys were in a team. You guys had a 2-man team, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and the roads looked epic. But yeah, tell us about that. How long was it, like the distance-wise, and how did you enjoy it?
Yeah, the Swiss Epic is 5 days and the distances are between 60 and 100 kilometers a day, but with a lot of climbing. They have different climbs there than we have here. They have the Alps. And yes, it's a 2-person team. So I was racing with my Mauritian friend Kim Lacourt that I also raced the Cape Epic with. And yeah, we just have a phenomenal partnership which really helps in those races. And then somehow we could pull it off. I always thought I'm not a good climber, but I think since I moved to Switzerland a few years ago, I really had to improve in that. So now my climbing skills are much better.
Much better. Okay, then let's talk about where it all began for you. When did you get into cycling and
I've been cycling for a long time already. I started as a little girl. If I see the little girls now riding, I'm like, that's where I started. So I started with the age of 8, and I always enjoyed cycling. My brother was doing it, my bigger brother, and what he can do, I can also do. So I had to go into cycling. I also did a few other sports like swimming. I tried all kinds of sports, but then, cycling just stick to me. Like it's such a nice sport. It's outdoor. You can do it with people. I just love it. So at a point I had to decide what I wanted to do, and then I decided for cycling, and I think that was definitely the right decision.
And you went for it and you stayed on track till today.
Yes.
Okay, well, speaking of origins, where do you originate from? Where do you come from? Where did you grow up in? You said you're cycling from a young age. Where did you grow up? When did you move to Switzerland and all of that?
I grew up in Windhoek.
Okay.
Born and raised in Windhoek. I went
City girl.
Yes,
Okay.
City girl. I went to the German school here, finished my school there. After that, I went to South Africa to study there. Always took my bike with. And then I met my now husband in South Africa, and he is from Switzerland. That's how I ended up in Switzerland. then.
Okay.
So it was the next step to go there. The racing in Europe is just so much better and so much more competitive. So if you want to do the next step, you have to go there.
Okay,
So for me, it
okay.
was like the next step, but I also enjoy it, but I still love coming back to Namibia.
Okay, well, and your husband is a well-decorated cyclist as well, mountain biker. I don't know, what do we call you guys? Is it cyclist? Is it mountain biker? Or is it a bit of both?
I think Connie is definitely a mountain biker,
Okay.
a pure mountain biker, marathon mountain biking. Actually, it's a longer distance.
Yeah.
I love my mountain bike marathon. I'm actually also really good at it, but I do road races as well.
Yeah.
Like the 2 Olympics I've been to, that was on the road bike. So I have a soft spot for that as well. But yeah, I like the balance. I think it's also good for one to not only do one thing, but I would say my heart is still on the mountain bike.
Mountain bike. I think Alex said the same thing when we spoke about what he is, and he classified himself as an all-around person, but preferably the mountain biking is where it's at. But yeah, your husband is a well-decorated mountain biker, and you are as well. Tell me, how do you guys complement each other? Did you learn a lot from him? Do you guys work out together? Because I mean, you guys complement each other so well when it comes to the racing.
Yeah, I think I definitely learned a lot of him. I mean, I got to know him when I was 20.
Okay.
And we've been together for almost 10 years now,
Ooh.
so quite a long time. And
Okay.
he is a little bit older than me, so he has had those 4 years of more experience already.
Yeah.
So when I met him, my training got so much more professional.
Okay.
I started eating better, recovering better. It's all of these things. Cycling is not about what you do on the bike. It's
Okay.
actually a 24/7 job. You have to look that you eat right, that you sleep right, that you recover, that you train right. It's the
Okay.
whole package. And I think doing that together with your partner, it's so much easier then.
Yeah.
Because if you had a partner that just wants to go party every night,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, but I have to go to bed at 9 because I have to go race tomorrow morning at 6.
That'll be a problem.
It won't work. So like this, we really complement each other. He knows what I need. I know what he needs.
Yeah.
He helps me in so many aspects. He cleans my bikes. He fixes my bikes. He
Yeah.
helps me with all of that stuff. I maybe help him a little bit with making food or something. I think he helps me more than I help him. But it's a give and take, right?
Yeah, it's a give and take.
So I think we found a good way that works for us.
Okay. Does it ever become competitive on the race bike?
I think because I'm a woman and he's a man,
Yeah.
I know I'm the weaker one.
Yeah.
But sometimes if we do intervals together and I'm on the road bike and he's on the mountain bike and I can really hurt him,
Yeah.
I do like that.
Okay, well, I mean, there must be room for a bit of competition.
Yes.
But yeah,
It's a healthy competition.
Healthy
though.
competition, definitely.
Yes.
Speaking of plans for the year, 2024, what can we expect from Ferraluza? What are your plans for this year? What do you plan on doing and improving on this year?
Yeah, so this year is a big year again. It's Olympic year, it's 2024. I started my season in Namibia, which also has the reason because Windhoek is actually on altitude, so it's really good for training. It's
Okay.
good for base training beginning of the year. Lucky me that the Namibian national champs were end of January, so I could squash that in as well.
Recovered your title, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Congratulations to Ferraluza, got the
Thank
title
you,
back.
Thank you. And then I'm leaving to South Africa next weekend, and then I'll start my mountain bike season there. I'll have a stage race, 4-day stage race, and then another 1-day stage race, and it's all as preparation for the Cape Epic again. Unfortunately, I can't race the Cape Epic with Kim Lacourt again.
Okay.
She is moving to the road bike more this
Okay.
year, which is quite a bummer because we had a
You
really
guys
good
had a
partnership.
Good partnership, definitely.
But I think I've found a worthy partner. It's not out who it is yet,
Okay.
so stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Okay.
And then that will definitely be my first big season highlight. And then from there, I'll go back to Europe and I want to compete at the Marathon World Cup, which is more between April and beginning of June. And then end of July, beginning of August are the Olympic Games that I hopefully qualify for.
Okay.
So Namibia has a spot for that already. But now internally of Namibia,
Yes.
I still have to prove myself. I think I'm on a good way, but it's not my decision to make.
Okay.
And that's August, and then another big race for me will be the Marathon World Champs,
Okay.
Mountain Bike Marathon World Champs in September in America.
Wow.
So I have big goals for there.
Wow, okay.
So let's see what I can do.
And then Nedbank Desert Dash, obviously. That's
Yeah.
also, are you also doing that this year?
I mean, my husband Connie, he loves coming to Namibia for that.
Yeah.
It's his favorite race of all time.
We all know. Trust me, we all know it's his favorite race.
So
Yeah.
he already said it's his 10th month, so he has to come back for
He
it.
has
And
to.
I mean, if he comes, I also have to come.
Okay.
I'm considering maybe doing it solo, maybe not. I'll see how the year unfolds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always such a good vibe at the Nedbank Desert Dash. So if I'm here, I have to do it.
I mean, it's his 10th Nedbank Desert Dash, so I think it will only make it sweeter if you are also involved in it.
Yeah,
Most
especially,
probably.
I mean, the reason why he's coming back to do it is because of me, because he got the Namibian connection. from
You
me.
know. So yeah, it only makes sense that you are there with them. Okay, so before we do not let you leave, not yet. I don't think so. But we have this thing where we always ask ask our guest on the show to give out a message to the young riders. I mean, we do have young cyclists that are out there that you do inspire, that look at you, that stand and look up at you. Yeah, what message do you have for them? What word of advice would you give to the youth?
Sure, I mean, Namibian cycling is really growing, especially with youngsters, and I love seeing it. There needs to be an next Vera Lusa in a few years, or even now already, they can come, they have to come. But they just have to keep going. It's such a beautiful sport. Go out, just ride your bike, take your friends with. Don't do it alone. It's so much nicer if we can do it together.
Yeah.
But most importantly, just have fun.
Most importantly, just have fun. I think we've got accustomed to those words now, guys, like it's being said, most importantly, just have fun. How does, my question is, how does your daily day go about? How does your day look like on a daily basis, like in the morning to before you go to bed?
I get up around 6, depending on what time I go on the bike.
Yeah.
If I go with people, sometimes I want to go earlier, so I have to get up earlier. And then I train, say, 3 to 5 hours a day. Then I come home, I have a recovery shake, I have lunch, then maybe I still have gym in the afternoon. Then I still work. I have online work that I can do, so in the afternoon I still sit in front of the laptop.
Okay.
And then in the evening, it's usually still some stretching or yoga. And then I'm usually off to bed quite early.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess it's quite a boring life, but I prefer it. I like being outside, and what I especially like about being an athlete and what I can do is I can be anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Basically, to do my work, I can see so many places, meet so many people, see so many cultures.
Yeah.
That's what I really, really love about it. So that's also what keeps me going.
What keeps you going? I think the beauty of cycling that I've seen based off the people we've spoken to is you guys get to travel a lot. You guys get to see the beautiful places. But yeah, if you have to name, I know it's a tough one, but name 5 achievements out of everything that you've done so far that you would say have a special place in your heart. I'm sure they all do, but I'm sure you do have your favorites. So if you have to name us 5 of your favorites, which ones would it be?
It would definitely be the Cape Epic win last year.
The Cape Epic last year?
Then
We'll show some footage of the Cape Epic. I'm
Yes.
sure you do have some
Yeah.
cool stuff for us to showcase to the viewers.
I'm sure I can get something. And then the Commonwealth Games, I came 4th 2022
Wow.
in the road race,
Yeah.
which was super close. It was the sprint, and I could smell that medal. I could almost feel it. Just away. That was quite special for me.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
just that feeling of being able to compete right in front.
Wow.
And then the World Cup win last year.
World Cup win last year.
I was battling until the last downhill and with the first goal, and she was always in front of me. And then in the last downhill, I just gave it everything. And I
That you
could
have.
still pass her. And then 2016, when I won the African champs on the road bike.
Yeah.
And with that, I qualified for my first Olympics.
First Olympics.
That was very special. And then probably the Swiss Epic last year.
Swiss
Just
Epic. Yeah,
coming
Swiss
to
Epic.
a race that I thought never suits me of all of the climbing, and then I come there and I can win it. So that was quite a cool feeling.
I think my favorite is also the Swiss Epic, because I watched that live and we had to stay tuned, and it was an everyday race. So I asked Andrew, question was like, for how long do these guys cycle? And Andrew was like, no, it's a few days, and it looked muddy, and you guys are full of mud, and there's just a lot going on. But yeah, before we do let you leave, speaking of your top achievements that you just mentioned, especially like the one that I'd like to pick out is when you got your first Olympics. How did that feel? How did you feel going for your first Olympics?
Whew, I mean, I was quite young when I went for my first Olympics. To be honest, I was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's such a big event, and I mean, I've done big events before, but it's cycling events. So maybe the cycling people follow it.
Yeah.
But if you go to Olympics, the whole world follows it. Yeah. And that's quite impressive. And I mean, we come from a small country. I say small because it's a big country with
Yeah.
little people. And we come there with a very small delegation.
Yeah.
I mean, in Rio, we were 7 athletes, very small. And yeah, you're one of them, or you're one of the athletes that already made it there.
Yeah.
And I mean, the expectations were not high, but I remember the sports minister came to us the night before my race, and
Yeah.
he said, "You already made it. We are already proud of you, no matter what happens."
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's actually right. We made it. Like, we are representing Namibia,
Yeah.
our beloved country here. We made it. So yeah, I mean, if I can go again to Paris this year, it's going to be amazing. But this time, I definitely want to perform a little bit better as well,
Than
and not
the
just go
first
for
time.
the experience.
Okay. Like you said, you want to perform better this time than last time. Does the pressure still get to you? Do you think? Like, I mean, you've been in the game for so long. So now, when you at the top stage of events or performing in big events, do you still feel the pressure now, or are you more like used to it? I don't know if you do get used to it.
I think you learn to work with it. I think there are smaller races where I'm totally fine now, but then, I mean, Olympics, as I said, it's such a big event. You can't let it go. And a little bit of pressure or nerves are also a good thing, but you have to know how to work with it. And I think already in Tokyo, I managed much, much better. But I have to add to that, the course in Rio and Tokyo didn't quite suit me. It was a lot of climbing, and those girls are on another level. But the course this year in Paris is actually a course that suits me. So then I also want to go there and be competitive. I want to go there and
not
race
just
for something and not just survive.
Well, I think we are definitely going to be rooting for you. Hopefully it all works out and you are there. I'm sure your arm is 100% better now. The broken, the one that you broke.
Fine,
Hopefully we will have you again on the show after some time. We'll see how your schedule looks like. But that's all that we do have for you on episode 2. We are joined by Farah Loser.
We are all seeking connection to each other, to the world, to the spaces we exist in. More sportsmanship right now from the lads.
You might be physically ready, your body is ready, but mentally.
Here's another chance, and it is a goal from Windhoek.
Hij zegt, is er aan neertrekken. Hij bal lijkt mij grond gevat. Hij heeft grond gevat. En dan zie je.
But just enough next. Shh.
Running that mountain up. Okay, so we will be doing this for the mountain climber. More advanced, slightly advanced.
So is jou trolley reg? Want
I love it. I love it. So then
we kickstart our countdown at number 5 with this one.
Op Netwerk TV se Klets Kompas gesels ons nuus van 'n Maandag tot Donderdag. Ons kyk ook na die weer en meer. Stories wat jou raak en stories wat saak maak.
They've made a mistake in denying me bail, and they've made several other mistakes in many other cases.
The channels that teach us something new or reflect our expression. So it goes beyond switching to the right station. It's about choosing the experience that can adorn the present, dressing it with our tastes as we expand our preferences, because what we are actually connecting to is boundless, limitless human energy. And this is the spirit of NTV.
Okay, so we are at the IGG Trails. Unfortunately, I do not have a bike for this one. Next time, I'll definitely make sure to bring myself a bike. But before we do let you leave, Farah, just tell us, who are your sponsors? Tell us a bit about them. And also the question that I think everyone wants to know, how do you guys choose out a perfect bike? What makes you choose the bike that you go for? Those are my questions for you.
So my sponsors this year is Efficient Infinity Insure.
Okay.
It's a South African insurance company. And they sponsor me especially when I'm in South Africa, and then also for some events in Europe. And then I have my very loyal sponsor from Switzerland, who is Elisato. They are a water refinery company. And then Lapierre, which is my bike brand. And that's also how do I choose my perfect bike. I really like a full suspension bike, which means that it has a shock in the front and at the rear. And I prefer wide tires, and I actually have electronic shifting on this, which is much easier to shift, because last year in the Cape Epic I actually had to upgrade my bike to electronic shifting because my thumb got so sore from shifting the whole time.
Wow. Okay, so the electronic makes it easier now.
It makes it much easier, so it's just a little button. And then I have to have the right gears. I have a power meter on my bike so that I can manage my efforts. So if I do interval training, I can exactly see how many watts I press. So you know what 220 is, more or less a light bulb. So I can press that. And then I have my Garmin computer on here where I can check the distance, the altitude, my heart rate is connected to here that I can also see how long I've been riding. Then I have a dropper post on my bike where I can drop the saddle. Especially good for steep downhills and technical bits. So that's also quite nice. And then I can lock out my shock here in the front so that it's on tar road, it's hard. And then if I go on the trail, it's soft, I can have a good suspension.
You know, we are used to Challenger bikes. You know those ones that don't have brakes. The only way you brake is if you, guys, you remember? That one. Okay, but yeah. Speaking of prices, Farah, I know it's not a question that that's usually asked much, but how much would a bike like this cost you? Let's say
Luckily, it
Mariet
doesn't
wants
cost
to buy.
me anything.
Okay. Luckily, it doesn't cost you. But let's say Mariet wants to buy the bike and it's like, I want to get me a bike like Farah Loser. How much would it cost him?
I think this bike will easily be 150,000.
150,000 Namibian dollars.
Yes.
There you have it. I think, yeah. What else? But yes, like I said, Farah Loser, thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us today. And with that being said, guys, 150,000, you can get this one fast. Don't stress about that. But yeah, that's all that we do have for you on this amazing episode of Athletes World. But we'll be back again. So from us, it is adios.
All right, it's time for us to go globe trotting before we get into the wrap-up show. And we're talking Olympics, Diana.
Yes, of course, we are talking Olympics. Right. So the International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach has suggested that instead of offering prize money for Olympic gold medalists in Paris, World Athletics should focus its funding on supporting athletes at the other end of the spectrum.
That is a tricky one.
Yeah.
Because you want to be like, make sure you pay us. And then they're like, we want to use the money for
good.
Don't let me disturb you. Continue.
Okay, so athletes broke with a 128-year tradition in April by announcing by announcing it would become the first sport to offer $50,000 in prize money for its Olympic champions starting in Paris this year. The announcement by World Athletics President Sebastian Coe, who is also an IOC member, did not discuss his plan with the Olympic body and was welcomed by many athletes. It was also met with surprise, no doubt, and sharp criticism by other international sports federations, which accused Coe of failing to consult them prior to his unilateral move. Bach said while sponsors, governments, or private institutions provided payments to athletes for Olympic success, the role of an international sports federation was not that. This question in principle is a question of how to support the athletes best, Bach said, adding that his organization reinvested 90% of its revenues, with national Olympic committees and international federations being major beneficiaries. The NOCs and IFs are major recipients of the money of the share of the commercial success of the Games, Bach said.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I've got some thoughts, but let's first get his words.
This is not a discussion really about prize money. The prize money in the Olympic Games exists for decades. My teammates and I, in 1976, we have received prize money for our gold medal through their foundation supported by the National Olympic Committee. And in the meantime, this is more or less, common practice among the NOCs. This is not the question in principle. It is a question there of how to support the athletes best, and there everybody has a role to play. The IOC, in order to support athletes the best, is distributing 90% of all our revenues to the development and for the development of sport and the athletes worldwide. And there, the NOCs and the IFs are major recipients of this money, of this share in the commercial success of the Games. The role of the IFs, according to this common understanding, is that the IFs have to make every effort to try at least to close the gap between the athletes coming from privileged countries or NOCs and from less privileged countries or NOCs. there are in this way part of the solidarity effort of the IOC to do everything to create in the best possible way equal conditions for all athletes around the world, and to help them to develop and to help them to have good coaches, good training conditions, and this is where this discussion is coming from. All indicators there are showing that indeed the whole world wants to participate, and that the athletes who are coming there, will compete in full respect of the Olympic Charter and in full respect of this unifying mission of the Olympic Games. And this is what we are working for. And this is why, again, we are supporting their both national Olympic committees, and we are supporting their, also in particular, the Palestinian athletes who have not qualified on the field of play by Olympic scholarships, and then would also, if they would not qualify in spite of their scholarships and all the support we are giving, would provide them with invitations like for the other national Olympic committees who have not qualified athletes to participate on an equal basis then in Paris. Neither the NOC of Israel nor the NOC of Palestine has violated the Olympic Charter like the Russian Olympic Committee has with their annexion of sports organization on the territory of the Ukrainian National Olympic Committee. We have this peaceful coexistence.
Interesting developments there.
So you said you had some opinions.
I had some until I heard him speak.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. No. So it sounds like something they should figure out.
Yeah.
I think they get paid to do that. I'm just gonna let them figure out. I'll bring you the news. But in some big news, listen, you can't talk tennis without certain names.
Nadal,
Thank
Djokovic.
you. Yeah, that's good. Let's talk about Nadal. Nadal, an absolute legend, but after a rousing, dramatic last stand on home soil, it all came to an end midnight in the early hours of Wednesday, and as he was out-hit and outplayed by Jiri Lehecka. Now, the defeat will probably mark Nadal's final time competing at the tournament. He has won a record 5 times. This is in Madrid, the 37-year-old expecting 2024 to be the final year of his career. This is insane.
It is insane. I grew up watching Nadal, or hearing about Nadal.
Yes.
So I don't know, it's one of those things where you don't actually think that a day like this would come where he would finally retire.
Yeah.
And it is quite sad that, I'm assuming he wanted to go out with a bang.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And tennis is not like boxing where you can get some exhibition matches.
No.
We all remember when Mike Tyson retired. Well, he beat Lennox Lewis's ear. Fair and fine. But when he retired, we were like, oh, Mike is gone. Meanwhile, Mike Tyson is back fighting a YouTuber. Yeah. I don't think that will be the same when it comes to tennis, but it's very special to me, said Nadal. I have had the opportunity to play again on the court, and it has given me so much. It really was in a sense of gratitude. And he says, the first time I arrived competitively in Madrid in 2005, it was one of the most exciting victories I've had. Let's get the words from the legend himself, Rafael Nadal.
Of course, it's have been always emotional play here at home, and tonight having all the crowd, giving me the the last support on court here in Madrid have been unforgettable. No, a moment that's gonna stay with me forever, I think. And I think the week have been very positive. A lot of positive energy for what's coming. And I never will have the chance to thank enough everybody here. Well, I tried to not look at them, honestly now, because I didn't want to cry for me. Even if it's an emotional day, it's not my last match, you know. I'm not retiring yet, so just saying goodbye from a very special place for me, and things need to keep going for me, you know. So I don't know when gonna be my last match, but I don't want to become too emotional because I want to try to keep going for a while, and just trying to keep focus on my path. No? So today it's a night that's gonna stay in my heart forever. But at the same time, I try to be strong enough to keep going because it's not yet enough. Bien, una noche que va a estar en mi corazón para siempre, ¿no? El cariño que he recibido durante estos 21 años que he estado jugando aquí en Madrid es imposible de agradecer. Nunca voy a tener la capacidad de agradecerlo, ¿no? A todos, el torneo, el público. La verdad que ha sido una historia difícil de explicar en palabras, pero bueno, todo tiene un principio, todo tiene un final. Hoy ha sido la última vez que haya jugado aquí en frente de este increíble escenario con un público que es el mejor del mundo para mí, y bueno, lo he disfrutado muchísimo, ¿no? Me he podido despedir en la pista, cosa que hace muy poquito tiempo pensaba que no sería posible, y bueno, todo el esfuerzo, todos los momentos que han sido realmente difíciles pues han valido la pena, ¿no? Haber podido vivir este momento que se va a quedar en mi corazón para siempre, pues significa mucho para mí, y haber podido jugar y además ser competitivo para mí es muy bonito.
Have been a positive week in all ways. I say it in Spanish, but it's true in terms of body feelings. I was able to play 4 matches, a couple of tough matches, and the body, some muscles are tired now. I felt that on the match, but hold it well. So have been a very positive week, winning 3 matches, playing 4 matches at a high level of tennis. Yeah, I enjoy it a lot, playing at home, and I live here with a very positive energy in all ways. I don't know how long, but I'm gonna try to play in Rome. That's another very special tournament in my career. No, I think I don't know. I won 10. Yeah, 10. So yeah, a lot of emotions there too. So as I dreamed is to play all these tournaments that I had success one more time. No, I missed Monte Carlo, unfortunately. That is one of the most special for me. But Rome is one of these ones that I enjoyed a lot playing there. So I want to go there. I'm gonna try, and I want to play well there. I want to play well. I want to be competitive. I want to give myself a chance to play good tennis. And I'm going to keep working hard to try to make that happen. Today is an emotional day, of course. Today is an unforgettable day in terms of saying goodbye. Madrid, that is one of the places, or even probably the place that I received more love and support during all these years. But my career keep going, and I have my personal goals the next couple of weeks, and I want to explore if I have any chance to achieve that. Bueno, sí, una noche emocionante, ¿no? Al final, como dije el otro día, ellos nunca me han fallado, la gente de aquí de Madrid, de España, nunca, sinceramente, ¿no? Lo que me han hecho sentir a lo largo de todos estos años es algo que se va a quedar en mí para siempre.
You know, I would tell you what he said there.
I definitely got it. I don't know if you did.
Yeah,
I got it. Learn your Spanish. Learn your Spanish. But you know, this is Sport Rap Saturday Studio. We make sure that all the content flows through it. It's not always going to be in English. For example, right now, Ari Hogard was covering the Miami GP, at least the build up to it. We do know who's taking pole position with regards to the heats, to the preliminary times. But we'll talk to you about that after Ari talks about the anticipation of the Miami GP.
Ook op die racesbane, dis veral die Miami Grand Prix Formule 1 wat 'n groot belangstelling wek en Amerikaners weet daarom om 'n groot lekker sportbyeenkoms aan te bied. Daar's 3 Grand Prix in 'n jaar in Amerika. Hierdie is die eerste ene in Miami, daar teen die Florida kuslyn. En kom ons kyk na die puntelys tans. Dit is Max Verstappen gemaklik voor 110 punte met sy spanmaat Sergio Perez van Red Bull Honda tweede 85. Dan volg die 2 Ferraris, Charles Leclerc op 76 en Carlos Sainz 69. Dan sit Lando Norris en dan is dit George Russell ook bietjie laer af 33ste in die Mercedes. So dis nie 'n goeie seisoen sover vir Mercedes nie. Kom ons hoor wat sê MW Welman, wat dink hy kan gebeur by die Miami Grand Prix. Van die groot nuus is die afgelope tyd is Adrian Newey wat hy is die tegniese direkteur. Hy het by die span of met die ontwerp van die voertuie tyd te doen. Hy's eintlik by die man wat eintlik maar die grootste krediet kry vir die suksesse van Red Bull Honda. Hy het aangekondig hy gaan weggaan van die span later vanjaar. So dit is nie goeie nuus vir Red Bull Honda nie. Wonder of dit 'n effek gaan hê op Red Bull nou al en die effek wat Newey ook het op die span. Kom ons hoor wat sê MW Welman oor Newey en ook oor die Miami Grand Prix.
Ja, die onverwagse bedanking van Adrian Newey by Red Bull het tip in die onderhoek gegooi, as ek dit so kan stel. Dis nie heeltemal onverwags nie, was baie gerugte wat daaroor rondgedoen die laaste tyd, maar as dit 'n paar maande terug gesê het, sou niemand jou geglo het nie. Duidelik is daar dinge in die gebeur in die Red Bull span. Niemand is gelukkig nie, 'n paar mense wil gaan afspring, dan spring hulle af van 'n sinkende skip af, so ons nie weet nie. Groot vraag is natuurlik waar gaan Adrian Newey heen gaan? My vriend Hendrik Verwoerd het in ons gesprek hierdie week gesê hy reken hy gaan dood aftree. Hy is reeds 65 jaar oud. Hy is dalk nie noodwendig lus weer om van voor af te begin met 'n nuwe span en nuwe uitdagings en alles nie. Maar nou ja, mens sal nog nie weet nie. Niemand weet regtig wat die toekomstige bestemming vir Adrian Newey gaan wees nie. Ons weet wel dat hy net tot volgende jaar daar by Red Bull gaan wees en hy gaan geen verpligte sogenaamde tuinbou verlof hê nie. Hy hoef nie te gaan sit by die huis vir 'n jaar lank om seker te maak sy inligting raak verouderd nie. Hy kan onmiddellik by 'n ander span begin. So dit is waarskynlik 'n aanduiding dat hy in die sport gaan bly. Natuurlik die natuurlike gevolg van die feit dat Adrian Newey gaan waai by Red Bull is dat drywers soos Max Verstappen dalk ook in die mark is om weg te gaan by Red Bull. Ons weet dat hy kontrak tot einde 2028. Maar Toto Wolff van Mercedes maak geen geheim daarvan dat hy hom met alle mag en mening in 'n Mercedes wil sien. Hulle probeer, lyk dit vir my, om te koop met 'n hengse klomp geld. Hulle praat van iets soos 150 miljoen euros om per jaar om vir Mercedes te kom ry. En blykbaar gaan hy en Toto Wolff en Jim Ratcliffe, wat die eienaar van die Ineos maatskappy is, wat 'n derde van Mercedes besit, en dan ook dan Mercedes se baas hierdie week met die Verstappens vergader om te kyk hoe om nie kan oortuig om Mercedes te kom nie. Wat tot einde wel maak sy besluit geneem het, is die hele soort van bestuurdersmark half in 'n wentelbaan, hulle almal sit en wag om te kyk wat gaan gebeur. Die ou wat die meeste sit te wag natuurlik is Carlos Sainz. Hy het natuurlik nie meer 'n sitplek by Ferrari nie, nadat Lewis Hamilton sy plek oorgeneem het nie, maar hy is hoog in aanvraag. Hy is ook die enigste drywer wat 'n Grand Prix gewen het die afgelope paar jaar, behalwe Max Verstappen en Sergio Perez. So dat hy 'n liewe sitplek gaan kry is nie te betwyfel nie, die vraag is net waar. Audi is baie aard agter sy bloed aan. Audi het natuurlik hierdie week vir Nico Hülkenberg geteken vir die volgende 3 jaar. Maar Carlos Sainz is 'n bietjie traag om self aan Audi te verbind, want hy wil eers kyk of hy nie dalk by Red Bull kan opeindig as Max byvoorbeeld nou gaan skuif vir Mercedes toe nie. Nou ja, dis ook kortliks wat by die bestuurdersmark aangaan, is natuurlik hierdie naweek die Miami Grand Prix. Die Grand Prix waar Max Verstappen laas jaar vir Sergio Perez geestelik geknak het. Tipiese straatbaan, baie draaie, baie wiere. Dalk nie die mees opwindende wedren op die kalender nie, maar nou ja, baie mooi omgewing, paar motors wat spesiale kleurskemas uitgebring het, onder andere Ferrari wat so 'n bietjie blou bygekry het, en natuurlik die RB, die sogenaamde Toro Rosso of AlphaTauri span het 'n fantastiese nuwe reënboog kleurskema uitgebring. Reg, dis nou al vir my, dankie Ari, praat weer later.
Ja, dankie MW, dit is 'n lekker vereisig is die Miami Grand Prix daar in Amerika. Ja, Adrian Newey is 'n groot effek hê as hy weggaan by Mercedes of by Red Bull Honda eerder.
right, now keeping with Formula One, actually Max Verstappen secured the Miami Grand Prix sprint pole with Mercedes facing double early exit. Despite grappling with his Red Bull during the session, Max Verstappen clinched pole position, edging out Charles Leclerc. Other contenders dropped off, allowing the World Championship leader to dominate the timesheet. Lando Norris, initially a strong contender, struggled in the final session, settling for ninth. Verstappen's teammate Sergio Perez secured third, with Daniel Ricciardo impressively taking fourth for Red Bull's junior team RB. Carlos Sainz secured fifth for Ferrari, followed by McLaren's Piastri. Lance Stroll outpaced Aston Martin teammate Fernando Alonso, securing 7th and 8th positions respectively. Mercedes, despite introducing upgrades, faced yet another disappointing outing as both George Russell and Lewis Hamilton failed to advance beyond SQ2.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wonder who's going to win.
I wonder. At this
Mind
point.
boggled. Can't get over it. All right. Let's talk about someone who was also annoying to see win, particularly in the 90s, and now he's trying to make his way back. His name is Tiger Woods. So he's been granted a special exemption to participate in the 124th US Open Championship, as confirmed by the United States Golf Association. Now, despite not qualifying for the tournament for the first time in his professional career, well, due to a limited playing schedule owing to injuries, Woods' previous exemption from his 29 Masters victory expired earlier this year, Reuters reports. The US Open's unique 10-year exemption for former winners contrasts with other majors. Having claimed victory 3 times previously, 2002, 2000 and 2008, Woods, now 48, will make his return to the event after last competing in 2020. I have to tell you, I remember when Tiger Woods was hot.
Yes.
Do you know how I remember?
How?
My father took me to the golf course immediately. Once every father learned that Tiger Woods had been getting coached by his father from a very young age. That's when I started playing golf. Don't ask me what my current handicap is. Don't ask me how well I currently play. All I'm saying is Tiger Woods was the beginning of that story, and it's good to see the Tiger back.
Yeah, honestly speaking, again, just like Nadal, Tiger Woods was that name we would always hear.
I
never watched.
Is. Just playing. Yeah, but even back then it was even more.
Back then he was very prominent. Like golf, Tiger Woods. We didn't know anyone else outside of Tiger Woods when it came to golf. And I mean, even to this day, and it's good to see him making his comeback and all of that. And you know, age is not stopping him.
No, I mean in golf. It takes a while. Of course, he did have some injuries. That was the main big issue with it. But that seems to be the case. Now, what's the latest from UEFA?
So, UEFA have agreed to increase squad sizes from 23 to 26 players for the Euro 2024 tournament in Germany. European football's governing body said on Friday international managers had voiced concerns when a return to the pre-COVID-19 23-player limit had been confirmed by UEFA after it was increased to 26 for Euro 2020 and World Cup 2022. The UEFA Executive Committee has today decided to increase the maximum squad size of the teams participating in the upcoming UEFA Euro 2024 from the original quota of 23 to 26 players, a UEFA statement said. The increase does not represent an obligation for the participating national associations. Participating countries have until June 7th to provide UEFA with a squad list containing a minimum of 23 players and a maximum of 26.
That's going to be very interesting to see, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Of course, it only means the competition only gets better, and especially when you have teams which have not regularly been in the competition now being included, it will bring a new dynamic which could really make it stand up. Maybe it could try be as vibrant as AFCON.
And I mean, obviously now everyone is going to be trying to get those 3 positions, those last few spots, you know.
Of course.
So competition is going to be very stiff, you know. So
but
it's interesting
I
to
do
see.
think some of this innovation is pressure from how well AFCON went.
Yeah.
Because AFCON was incredible. It really was. Now we're going to stick with football and talk about Liverpool. Currently not quite competing for the league, but they are focused on the future. Liverpool has identified Feyenoord head coach Arne Slot as the leading contender to take over from Jurgen Klopp this summer, and the 45-year-old Dutchman has been asked about the Reds' interest for the first time since that news emerged. He didn't want to give much away. However, ahead of Feyenoord taking on Go Ahead Eagles in the Eredivisie, Sky Sports reporter Gary Cottrell said to him, "You're in the news." Slot simply replied, "I am. I can't deny it." Then he just spoke about the game that he had in front of him. So,
I mean, last week we actually kind of already knew that.
all I know is that, like, as we said that, Liverpool supporters were typing down who is Arne Slot, Feyenoord.
Yeah, because already, again, if you watch Sport Rap Saturday, you would have known this news already.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, before we get into the wrap-up show, let's quickly look at the Premier League as it stands right now. We had some interesting games for sure, without a doubt. I mean, Arsenal getting things done. Currently
you would not let us
at
rest.
the top of the table, 3-0. Nottingham Forest getting the best of Sheffield United, 3-1. Manchester City will be playing Wolves in about 2 minutes. Brentford and Fulham sharing the spoils. Newcastle getting it down 4-1 against Burnley. And yesterday, Luton Town and Everton had a draw. You're still with the Sport Wrap studio. We're going to take a quick break before we return with your wrap-up show.
We are all seeking connection to each other, to the world, to the spaces we exist in.
Poor sportsmanship right now from the lads.
You might be physically ready, your body is ready, but mentally.
Here's another chance, and it is a goal from Windhoek.
Hij zegt, ja, is er aan neertrekken. Hij bal heeft mij grond gevat. Ja, hij heeft grond gevat. En dan zie
But just enough next.
Running that mountain up. Okay, so we will be doing this for the mountain climber. More advanced, slightly advanced.
So is jou trolley reg? Want
I love that. I love that. So then
Kickstart our countdown at number 5 with this one.
Op Netwerk TV se Klets Kompas gesels ons nuus van 'n Maandag tot Donderdag. Ons kyk ook na die weer en meer. Stories wat jou raak en stories wat saak maak.
They've made a mistake in denying me bail, and they've made several other mistakes in many other cases.
The channels that teach us something new or reflect our expression. So it goes beyond switching to the right station. It's about choosing the experience that can adorn the present, dressing it with our tastes as we expand our preferences, because what we are actually connecting to is boundless, limitless human energy. And this is the spirit of NTV.
It is time for the wrap-up show, and it's not a wrap-up show if you don't talk about the biggest things that happened in the weekend. In Namibia, at least for us, it's been all about NAPSO.
Yes.
Earlier in the day, we showed some rugby games, and now we're going to give you just a short highlight clip of the game between VAP and Moria before we go through the list of the folks who have been selected at the NAPSO tournament.
Om net te doen. Anders, laat ons by jou 'n paar vragies vra. Ook sommer.
Die omstandighede sien ek nogal uit na 'n goeie ding vandag. Ek gaan baie van die jong ouetjies nou try.
Oh, Straaskop daar's 'n man daar van Affies. Wat 'n man is. Kom hulle met hom, skitterend, Moria. Word Latai gebore, glo my vry. Harde wêreld. Nog altyd nie daar oor die doellyn nie, baie naby aan die doellyn is hulle gestuit nou Moria. Ja, die Okabere maak so, hulle druk die eerste 3 daar. Sien Moria Okabere vorentoe kom. Ja, is geen brood daar nie, geen. Moria wat opgestaan het in die skram. Lekker speel daar in die verspringput. Maak hy... Ja, die vlag is op. Vlag is op, hulle sit Moria wat die bal gaan terugkry daar. Het van 'n man af voor, 'n bietjie stabieler skram hierdie keer gewees. Man is 'n kop het ingebly. Jo, kyk net daar. As die plek in hierdie bus nie sê daai man, hy hardloop hulle twee van hulle deur twee. Hy sit nog altyd Moria. As hulle daar naby die doelin kom, is hulle baie gevaarlik. Dryf hulle. Ja, hulle maak weer so. Hulle Pale enkie terug. Nou kom hy vorentoe. Wat sê die vla sê hy skeepsreg. Dis doodreg daar. 4 speel. Hierdie keer is dit Affies vinnig gespeel daar. Kom hulle met Moria agter gespeel. Kyk dit daar's 'n mes deur Warmbotter. Klop 3-4 vir die 3 kan maak. Moria hulle met die ene inderdaad. Hy man het nog nie misgeskop nie. 3-3 vir hom. Nog nie wel nie. Ja, en die Hans Hyman hy het af van sy sy af opgestaan. Hy kyk die tyd. Affies. Ja, hierdie kant toe daar, die kant toe en kry die bal terug. Moria se vinnige skram sê dit. 'n Vroege skram. Kyk daar kom hulle skram skakel. Vinnig strafskop. Nou straf hulle vir Moria. Het sal van al so iets verwag. Vinnig speel hulle om Gianluca Savodeli. Stel hom in die agterlyn af. Inderdaad is hy heel agter. Doelskop wat wag. Kom hy vorentoe. So sit hy al die punte agter sy naam. Die wedstryd is nou al 10 punte. Straf geduik, baie goeie werk daardeur Affies. Nou kry hy wag skop aan teen die manne veel. Sit nog altyd Moria. Daai man maak 'n Pinaar. Hy gaan net hulle vinnig help. Wag. Kyk, Boerewyk nie. Heel agter sorg dat al die punte aan hom behoort in die wedstryd. 10 van hulle. 3 in die doelskop en ook 'n strafskop. Kom Affies nou. Lyk baie belovend vir hulle. Steek hy vas. Skitterend. Wat sê meneer Besaid nou? Dis reg. Hy's daar. Druk. Inderdaad, geen probleem nie. Bal is moedig gelaan. Skitterend daar weggebreek deur die binnesent. Strafskop vir Affies. Tikkel hom ver net hoog in die lug en opskop. Groot gat daar gesien, dis hoekom hulle dit gedoen het. Affies kry die bal terug ook daar. Savodeli. Hy druk die 3 wat vir 20. Dis die doelskop wat wag. Vorentoe. Maak die fout in. Bal spadde agteruit. Dis Affies nog in die aanval. Hulle is baie diep in die gebied. Baie diep in die gebied daar. Go weer 'n go. Skitterende rugby nou daar so. Dan keer hulle man voor daar.
My is die onder 19 kaptein van Privaatskool Moria. Hoe was hierdie wedstryd gewees, Janu?
Dit was 'n harde wedstryd en man is moeg, lywe is seer, lang naweek nou al. Ja.
En julle het ongelukkig hierdie wedstryd verloor, maar wat gaan julle uit hierdie wedstryd uitvat vir die volgende een?
Ja, is maar weer net ons dissipline het ons in die steek gelaat. Ons het hopeloos te veel strafskoppe afgestaan hier aan die einde. En ons sukkel met die wind. Ons is gewoond aan die wind, die hoë balle. Dit sit ons onder baie druk. Ja, het ons die game gekos.
Maar julle is nog steeds gemotiveerd en reg. Gaan julle die volgende game wil verbeter?
Ja, ons gaan môre vir Prowet aanvat en ons gaan hulle hard voorvat en ons hoop om die wen weer te trek.
En watse advies het jy vir jou manne?
Wat, man net kyk die wind speel 'n groot rol. Dit is moeilik met die hoë balle en goed. En dan ja, net harde lekker rugby.
Wel, ek wens vir julle baie sterk met julle volgende wedstryd. Het was 'n goeie een geweest, het was 'n tawwe wedstryd en ja, hierdie wind is onplesierig, maar julle het dit deurgekry en julle alles gegee. So baie geluk weer eens en julle het nog steeds goed gespeel. Ons het gesien hier langs die veld, maar ja, sterkte vir die volgende ene. Baie dankie vir die gesels. En nou langs my is Gianluca Savodeli. Johnny, julle het gewen. Julle het hierdie wedstryd teen Privaatskool Moria gewen. Hoe voel jy?
Ek moet eerlik wees, dit is 'n great gevoel. Eerste wen vir die seisoen. Ek sal enige tyd hierdie game so wen voordat ek om 60-0 wen. Ek het vandag iets in my spelers gesien wat ek nog nooit het nie. Ek het guts gesien en ek het determination gesien. Ek kan nie nog meer trots wees op my ouens nie.
Julle het 'n klomp jong spelers gehad in die span en Dink jy hulle het dit geniet?
Ek hoop hulle het, want dit is een van die beste games sover vir hulle. Ek hoop hulle het dit geniet, want dit was awesome om te sien, dit was awesome om te beleef.
En vertel my nog verder, julle het nou hierdie wedstryd gewen, maar julle gaan weer later 'n wedstryd speel?
Yes, ons speel môre teen Walvis Bay weer 5-3. Ons probeer dieselfde doen as vandag. Al wat ons doen is volg die gameplan, vertrou in dit en speel tot die beste van ons vermoëns.
Dit klink vir my baie goed. Baie dankie vir die gesels, Johnny. En laastens, as jy nou moes net een sin sê, 'n motiverende toespraak, net so vinnig vir jou mense wat nou hier buite kyk, wat sou jy sê?
Ek sal sê, maak nie saak van die omstandighede, niks is onmoontlik nie. Probeer jou beste en enigiets is moontlik.
Wyse woorde daai. Baie dankie vir die gesels en weer eens baie geluk met julle eerste wen vir die seisoen. Ek is baie trots op julle. En
the games were closely knit, particularly the rugby games in particular there, and VAP getting the job done. Of course, this tournament was also used as an opportunity to select players for the next stage, and these are the folks that managed to get selected: Alvandro Diachat, Antwa Klein, Benjamin Mostert, Charles Cilliers, Christian Lowe, Connor Burmeister, Gianluca Salvodelli, Jakob Vatskalvik, Jano Erasmus, Jandre Roberts, Johan Gabrielsen, Jean Devenish,
JC Labuscagni, Joval de Pinar, JJ Fury, Keanu Polster, Kendrick Bova, Marnus Botma, Vian Martins, W.R. Klein, Russell Bartlett, Taylor Sanders, and Yurik van der Berg.
Congratulations. And just some NRU results. It is Trusco United playing Rio Falcon, the reserves United winning that by just 2 points, 15-13, and in the first teams, 21-21.
Whoa. Yeah,
so it's looking tight over there. We'll certainly be keeping an eye on how it's all going. But something else was going on today, and it is the Namibian National Grass Bowling Championships, which kicked off this morning at the Eros Bowling Club and Windhoek Bowling in the capital. Now, members of the Eros Bowling Club, Omea Bowling Club, Sokomoon Bowling Club, Tsume Bowling Club, United Club, Walvish Bay Bowling Club, Windhoek Bowling Club are battling it out in singles, pairs, mixed pairs, threes and fours until next Saturday. The ladies today started their competition at the Windhoek Bowling Club, while the men face each other at the Eros Bowling Club.
Hey, like we said with Sport Rap, whatever sports code it is, as long as it's happening in Namibia, we've got you covered.
I was there at the bowling last year. I was actually
commentating.
I was commentating an incredible sport. I really encourage you to try it.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of course, you said you're not playing volleyball anymore.
No, I said I'm looking to actually joining the league.
All I'm saying is if you can't hit the ball in the sky, consider rolling it on the ground.
You know what? I just might.
It is what it is.
All right, now getting into some Vivo Energy action. The mayor of Windhoek, Queen O. Kamati, flanked by the MD of Vivo Energy, Jaco van Rensburg, and other invited guests, launched the second edition of the Vivo Energy Windhoek Marathon 2024 just a few moments ago. The race, which is sanctioned by Athletics Namibia, will take place on the 25th of May. And also keeping with Vivo Energy, a little later on after this video, we will be getting into Athletics Namibia Pro Lot Namanomata, who was talking about the partnership between Vivo Energy, the city of Windhoek, and the importance of the Vivo Energy Windhoek Marathon for long-distance athletes. Both these videos are courtesy of Otis Daniels.
Good morning and welcome to the Vivo Energy Windhoek Marathon. Right now we're witnessing the ribbon cutting ceremony, and right after that we'll definitely have a 100-meter dash where everyone that is joining us this morning will have to dash from the post office all the way under the arch. You can start for wherever you want, wherever you feel comfortable, but for now we'll have the Windhoek Marathon, proudly sponsored by Vivo Energy, the ribbon cutting. Madam Mayor, you're welcome.
Thank you. I hereby officially, can I? Are we looking forward? Yes. Okay, I hereby officially launch the Vivo Energy Marathon 2024.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Let's cheer to the Vivo Energy Windhoek Marathon 2024. And you're all welcome to have a drink and Well done to all participants. If you haven't registered, this is your opportunity.
The Vivo Energy Marathon, I would just like to start saying that it's a certified race. In that essence, it's permitted by Athletics Namibia, meaning the routes are measured to be safe and to be compliant with Athletics Namibia's rules and processes. This is done to ensure that athletes run within a safe space. The marathon also serves as a platform for both Namibians and athletes, possibly beyond Namibian borders, that might want to participate, to compete and prepare for other international marathons, possibly such as Olympics, as well as the Commonwealth Games and other World Championships. So indeed, it's a good opportunity for qualifying. We are happy because Vivo Energy is meeting Athletics Namibia halfway by ensuring that there is athletic activities and creating opportunities for athletes to compete and possibly qualify for competition outside Namibia. We know that right now the Olympics, for instance, are within a couple of months' time in Paris. Our numbers are not that great. We have a few athletes that have qualified for Olympics, and we also had the Athletics National Track Championship not so long ago. It was last weekend in the capital. Our numbers don't look great, and we hope that possibly maybe some numbers coming out of here will also serve as a great motivator, that even if it's not necessarily for the Olympics, but possibly for also other activities. Now, this event also again further provides an opportunity from our point of view for national and international athletes to showcase their talents and preparation for other events, but also from our point of view talks about mutual partnerships between corporate and sports in developing potential through shared value of activities. And that is very, very important, that sports alone is affected by the issue of funding. There's inadequate funding that we have, that we're all experiencing in this country, and by Vivo coming to our show and obviously having this competition again presents an opportunity that for collaboration. And we know that this year we are experiencing the issue of drought again. And I know the city of Windhoek is always calling on us to use water sparingly with its stakeholders such as NamWater. We know that we have 825 million allocated to drought. Now, you'd be wondering as to where does this issue of water, Athletics Namibia and partnership and the SDG on water, for instance, where do they all meet? They all meet because, for instance, if you realize that SDG 3 talks about health benefits of sports. So the health benefits of sports, again, are interlinked to the issue of water. So government might be spending 825 million towards, drought relief, but by also getting the proceeds from this and the city of Windhoek committing it to water infrastructure or making water accessible, it's meeting government halfway, and we are all tackling the same issue. Now, I'm told that the format of the race will still encompass that is a 5 kilometers, the 10 kilometers, 21.1, as well as the 42-kilometer races for both local and international runners that are. And also there are some exciting prices. I saw the post is approximately $200,000 Namibian, and I'm told that the options of last year, that is open, masters and veterans, still continues. And also the fact that last year we also saw that there was remuneration in terms of the high school participations, and also the issue of the running clubs that were in the 2023 competition. I again hope that that method still competes. And again, at the same time, this also presents an opportunity to schools and running clubs to capacitate your infrastructure.
Welcome to the official launch of the Vivo Energy Windhoek Marathon. It was an idea that was started by the team last year to see how we can get involved in the community. I was in a meeting with City of Windhoek a while ago, and we said we are committed to this long term, and the challenge for us is to really make it big. Every big city in the world now these days have a marathon. You talk about the London, Boston, Rotterdam, and we want to get this to that level. So obviously, one of our ethos as a business is partnership, and I would like to appeal to all of us to work together as Namibians in a partnership to make this big, not for benefit of any of us, but really to give back to the communities. One of the things I've challenged the team on when we started planning this event was let's find a slot that works for the athletes. This year it's a little bit better. better from a timing perspective. We're always open for comments and feedback so that we really make this event for the serious athletes. I know we've got official timing going so that it also count as a qualifying event. So I do want to thank the athletes, but also the ones that is just there for fun and bringing the families out and all of that. So thank you for your participation, because without the runners, it will not be an event that's worth sponsoring. Last year the marathon proceeds went to make a real difference, and we've donated a lot of books to two community libraries in Kataturu. This year the focus will be on water sanitation needs in Windhoek. I know as a country there's a lot of strain on water resources currently happening. I've seen some communications from Windhoek that we have to cut the water use. So for us, this is also then a focus. And I do want to thank Her Worship Mayor Queen Komati, again with her committee, that these funds will be properly funneled to the people that needs it most. And again, I do want to challenge other corporate companies that is here or that will read about this in the newspaper. We already have more than 40 participants from Vivo Energy that will participate. And I'm challenging other corporates to also step up and see if you guys can beat that and join us on the day, so that we can make it as fun as possible for everybody, but also so that we can have as much money collected and distributed to the people that need it.
The registrations are tracking very well. I think we are on course to reaching our target, which is about more than 2,000 runners this year. So we thank everybody that signed up already.
Exciting stuff indeed. Now, let's talk about the Namib Race 2024, which started on the 28th of April and officially concluded today in Swakopmund. Over 100 participants, 57 countries, 256 kilometers, 7 days, 6 rest camps.
Jeez.
I had to rest from that sentence. I wonder how it was like for them. 3 Namibians, Martin Kalwenya, Pamela Vurai and Frans Amakali participated and represented Namibia in this race. So in the coming clip, you're going to see Sam Van Shawe, you're going to see Martin Kalwenya, who's the first Namibian to finish, Frans Amakali, ultramarathon and seasoned runner, and Pamela Vurai.
Here we are on the edge of Swakopmund at the finish line of the Namib Race 2024. Racing the Planet bought this race here as part of a greater series, the Four Deserts Race Series. Racing the Planet organises 250 kilometre, 7-day self-supported ultramarathons in some of the most harshest climates and cultural areas around the planet. The Namib Race is one of 4 of these races. The others include the Gobi Desert in Mongolia, the Atacama Desert in Chile, and also the Last Desert in Antarctica. We are delighted to have completed the 7th edition of the Namib Race here in the beautiful country of Namibia. It has been a challenging week. We've had temperatures in the sun above 50 degrees Celsius. We had the east wind on our long march, which was the long stage of the race. But despite that, we had 125 racers who came here to race from 47 countries around the world. And less than 15% of them did not finish. So everybody else is here having completed every single step of that stage. We started 7 days ago, just outside Walvis Bay, and we went all the way through the Dune Belt, over Dune 7. We went inland through Guanacontes area. We have seen the variety of spectacular scenery and the challenge of the climate, of the variety of climate in Namibia over those 7 days. We then, on the long march, we crossed over Rossi Mountain and we finished up today all the way through, having started Walvis Bay, we finished up today on the beach just outside Swakopmund. We could not have a better place to hold the race, with a great local team of Namibians to support us and a fabulous international group of volunteers cheering everyone on along the way. So thank you, Namibia. Thank you, Swakopmund, and we hope to see you at the Namib race at a future edition. Go to www.racingtheplanet.com to find out more details.
Yeah, the race was good. The first day I was leading to take a professional behind them. I come number 6 because I don't want to go forward and no experience. It's my first time to join Namib race, the planet. Then the second day, I follow the professional again. I leave the other behind. I follow the number 1. I come the position number 2. Then the second day, I take a wrong of food that I didn't use it in my life when I'm exercise. I get a stomach, then I just walk the whole day. I didn't run. I don't know which number I was. Then the 4th day, I showed them that now I'm a professional. I come the first position. In the longer one, 82 kilometers, I followed them, I joined them, how to run the 82 kilometers. I stand behind and front. When I see how they use their food, I go forward. All of the checkpoints 5, I was front. Then I see that now I have experience. I know that I'm behind for the other hours. Let me take my decision to finish this 82 kilometers, and next year I will be number 1. This is the final to finish the 250 kilometers in the world. Namibia come the first to finish the line. Thank you. For my sponsors, Namib Lice, OTB, plastic packaging, Mr. Nico, thank you. Menier Couture, Vanny Defisa, Attorney, and Otessa, I greet you very well. Mr. Francois, good luck to you. You support us. We win the race. We are number 1. Namibia in the position in the world, top 5. Thank you very much. Good Namibia.
All right, I'm Franz. I'm an ultramarathon runner. I work for the Central Bank, Bank of Namibia. I'm a regular runner. I've been running now for the past 10 years, and I do this for wellness. The reason why I took part in this race is just for me to test myself, see how far. Quite a number of races, and I thought to myself, what other challenge is there that I can, test myself? So I took part in the Race the Planet event. It's 250 kilometers over the desert, over 6 days, running 4 consecutive marathons and then an 80-kilometer run. My experience, it was quite, at some point, emotional. I got blisters along the way because I didn't really have the right equipment. I had almost a 12 kg backpack, which is quite heavy to run with. But as the time goes, we got smarter. We tried to innovate and get the bag lighter by giving away most of the things, and also just talking to friends who have been pulling out to give us their lighter sleeping bags, and then that made it easier for me, especially from day 3. At least I could push a bit harder. You will see in the times that I improved my times from day 3 onwards. But other than that, if you ask me if I'll do this again, hell no. I tick off as a bucket list. I've done it, I've been there, but I would advise anyone who really want to just challenge themselves, go and discover yourself, do this race. That's when you will know who you are. I really had a good introspective myself. I got closer to God. I prayed, I sobbed, I cried indeed. It was painful, and it was indeed also exciting at the same time. I mean, being with strangers for a whole 7 days, no cell phone, no social media, was a good detox that I needed. It's therapy, it worked for me, and it can work for anybody else. I mean, networking with all these people from 42 different countries, speaking different languages. At least I learned a little bit of Spanish, I learned a little bit of German. I shared a tent with people from 4 different countries, and we just had a good time. So this is fun, guys. For me, it's therapy, I enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll advise anyone else to do it.
In an ultra race. Not a lady, a Namibian. A Namibian. And there's she in front of you, speak to her. We are proud of you.
Okay,
And
so
you are
Pamela,
late.
please tell us how the race was for you. Take us through the race. How are you feeling right now? How did you prepare and how was everything?
The race was fine. It was a little difficult, but I'm happy that I managed to finish. Everything now is painful, but I managed to finish the race. It was so difficult, but I'm very proud of myself.
Okay, and what are some of the challenges that you faced during the race?
The challenge that I faced, it was the bag on my back and the new shoes. I did not train with the shoes. I did not train with the bag. So first day, I experienced a lot of sores on my back. So, and I was having cramps on the legs. Yeah.
But you pushed through and you overcame it.
Yes.
How are you feeling right now?
Right now I'm fine. Yes.
Okay, so definitely next year again, will you be participating?
Next year I would definitely.
How many kilometers did you do today?
Today I did 10 kilometers. Yes.
Thank you so much, Pamela.
Thank you.
What incredible scenes.
I was about to say that could never be me.
I mean, the strength it took was so beautiful. Thank you, Precious Ngitanapa, for that.
Exactly. So now KBA launched its new competition last night, the first 3x3 league in Namibia. The 3x3 competition is gaining global recognition and we want our players to be involved in this revolution. So we decided to add a 3x3 league to our annual competition and we are proud to achieve this milestone. These were words from Mike Mukumbutua, who is the KBA Vice President, and this video is courtesy of Brian Munango.
All right, very interesting. I wonder if they timed that with the NBA playoffs, which are currently underway. I really do wonder, but good timing. It would have been good to certainly, check that one out, and we'll see how the other games come through. But from Diana Master and Ashwin Betty, this has been the Sport Wrap Saturday Studio. We'll see you next week.